I'm gonna go to every road game, no matter what, like whether I'm playing or not.
Caitlin Clark's future in question. What this means for the WNBA, no matter where the Indiana Fever travel, Caitlin Clark has made one thing clear. She's committed to her team, whether she's suiting up or supporting from the sidelines. But just recently, unexpected news sent shockwaves through the basketball world. Rumors are swirling that the WNBA's most electrifying rookie might be considering a step away from the game, something so abrupt and unexpected that fans, players, and league officials are all demanding answers. If Clark were to walk away now, it wouldn't just affect the Indiana Fever, it could send ripple effects across the entire sports landscape. Her potential exit threatens ticket revenues, TV deals, brand partnerships, and the very momentum that has made her the face of women's basketball. Headlines suggest a major shift is underway, but what's truly driving this moment? Could it be behind-the-scenes tension, public pressure, or is something deeper and more personal unfolding that could redefine her legacy forever? Let's take a closer look. From the moment she entered the league, Clark did more than join the Indiana Fever. She transformed them. A struggling franchise found hope again in a player who filled arenas, shattered records, and drew national attention to a league long overlooked. With a rookie season averaging 19 points, nearly 8 assists, and 6 rebounds per game, Clark didn't just perform, she sparked a movement. But stats only tell part of the story. Her arrival sent ticket demand soaring, pushing the Fever out of smaller venues and into packed arenas. Gainbridge Fieldhouse became a hotspot for fans, and WNBA broadcasts began pulling in over 1 million viewers, with marquee games hitting 2 million or more. Corporate sponsors jumped in fast, building campaigns around her image and turning Clark into a marketing powerhouse. Yet despite driving massive revenue, her personal earnings haven't reflected her true value. Due to a league structure constrained by an outdated collective bargaining agreement, Clark, like other rookies, is locked into a rigid team-controlled contract. Her salary remains a fraction of the money she generates, with little flexibility to negotiate or seek better terms. It's a system that thrives on her star power while offering her limited control. And that contradiction is taking a toll, not just financially, but emotionally and mentally. Being the face of a league comes with relentless pressure. Every game, every move, every word is picked apart by fans, pundits, and social media. Off the court, the scrutiny doesn't stop. She's followed in public, her private life is dissected, and expectations weigh heavily on her shoulders. Now, whispers of other options are growing louder. Overseas leagues, in Europe, Australia, and elsewhere, are reportedly offering bigger paychecks, better living conditions, and less media frenzy. These international opportunities offer a potential escape, a way to keep playing at an elite level without being boxed in by the WNBA's restrictions. But if she were to leave, the implications would be massive. Clark's presence has been a financial windfall for the league. Ticket sales, merchandise, sponsorships, and TV viewership have all climbed dramatically since her debut. Analysts say her market impact easily reaches into the millions. Yet she remains tied to a rookie deal, filled with team options and restrictive clauses. Legal experts are calling her situation unique, unlike anything the WNBA has seen before. She's not just a star, she is the brand. And the more this reality becomes clear, the more one question resonates. Why should the league's most influential player stay quiet, while others profit from her success? By mid-2025, Clark wasn't just the top player on the Fever roster. She was the Fever. Her face was on billboards, her highlights led every sports show, and her name filled stadiums. But that fame came at a cost. She was expected to be more than an athlete. She was tasked with being a spokesperson, a role model, and the symbol of an entire movement. That's a weight no stat sheet can capture. And within the Fever organization, the stakes were just as high. Inside the Indiana Fever organization, everything from marketing strategies to ticketing campaigns and sponsorship packages had begun to orbit around one name, Caitlin Clark. Her rise had fueled growth across the board, but with that level of focus on a single player came a natural strain on internal dynamics. When one athlete becomes the centerpiece of an entire franchise, it can unsettle the balance, impacting locker room relationships, coaching decisions, and even front office cohesion. As Clark continued to shoulder both performance expectations and brand responsibilities, a deeper question started to surface. Was the infrastructure around her built to genuinely support her, or was it simply structured to extract as much value from her fame as possible? By the midpoint of 2025, Clark had moved far beyond being just a promising rookie. She had become a symbol of what the future of women's basketball could look like. But the systems controlling her career, the contracts, league policies, and decision-making power weren't evolving at the same pace. She found herself operating inside a framework she had no hand in creating, bound by rules that limited her growth, while watching other sports spaces expand with new opportunities and global reach. Thanks to her enormous digital following, Clark had direct access to millions of fans, not just as viewers of her games, but as active followers of her life and journey. That influence gave her options. She could now shape her own path, launch independent ventures, partner with brands outside the traditional sports model, and build a career beyond the WNBA's structure. The endorsements landing on her desk weren't just worth more than her league salary. They came with something far more valuable: autonomy. Freedom from contract restrictions, from capped wages, and from the relentless expectation of being the league's flagship figure. But if Clark were to step away from the court, it wouldn't just be a career shift. It would redefine her entire public identity. She was no longer just a player. She had become the WNBA's brightest star, its marketing engine, and its cultural ambassador. Every appearance, every game, every tweet or interview carried weight far beyond the stat sheet. It was as if every move she made was a litmus test for the league's success. That meant her days were filled with far more than just training and competing. She juggled a calendar of corporate obligations, media events, community outreach, and sponsorship campaigns, all while being trailed by cameras and commentary everywhere she went. From sold-out arenas to quiet dinners, even her most personal moments became public discussion points within minutes. Yes, the awards, headlines, and standing ovations were real, but they came with sacrifices, missed family events, time lost with loved ones, a relentless schedule that chipped away at the parts of life that kept her grounded. And increasingly, Clark was facing a difficult internal split, where the world of business, brand building, and personal well-being was calling her in one direction, while the league she helped elevate was pulling her in another. As interest from media companies, global brands, and international leagues continued to grow, the unthinkable began to feel possible, that the WNBA could lose its biggest asset. And the true fear among those close to her wasn't just that Clark might walk away, it was what that choice would symbolize. Because her exit wouldn't be seen as just another player leaving. It would be interpreted as a signal that the WNBA had failed to hold on to the very talent it built its resurgence around. For Clark, the equation was becoming increasingly stark. On one side, a system still rooted in outdated frameworks, offering limited flexibility and underwhelming compensation. On the other, a world of new opportunities promising more freedom, more income, and more personal agency. As the disconnect between her impact and her rewards became too large to ignore, speculation about her future only intensified. Would she continue playing in a league that still hadn't caught up to her worth? Or would she take the leap and create something bigger on her own terms? And that's the real question now facing the WNBA. It's not just whether Caitlin Clark will take the court next season. It's whether the league can evolve fast enough to meet the expectations of the new era she helped usher in. Because if she decides her future lies elsewhere, the consequences will be felt everywhere, from front offices to sponsorship deals, from TV contracts to fan engagement. Her story is no longer just about basketball. It's about ownership of identity, control over one's future, and the price of carrying an entire league on your shoulders. And if the face of women's basketball chooses to walk away, not because she couldn't handle the pressure, but because she refused to play a rigged game, it won't just mark the end of a chapter. It'll be a wake-up call for the entire world of women's sports.